Merry meet and welcome to our stream, everybody. This is Ariel Gatoga, and we are streaming live on YouTube and on Twitch. This is a general reading for all signs for today, the 2nd of April, 2023. Moderating on YouTube are the lovely Rachel and the lovely Brandy, and moderating on Twitch is the lovely Dre. Thank you so much, moderators. And thank you to everybody for joining us for this general reading. I'm reading with this crystal tarot today, and I'm going to purify with my own homemade Queen of Hungary water, all organic. Thank you very much. 3 sprays in this large room is more than sufficient. You can find information about these products in the video description of this very video on my YouTube channel. This is a general reading for all signs for today, the 2nd of April, 2023, going out to everybody, whether you're watching with me live or whether you're watching on a restream. It does go out to a lot of people, so if for some reason it does not seem to fit, it may not be your reading. In that case, just disregard it, because it may not be meant for you. If that's the case, make sure that you check out the zodiacal readings for your individual sun sign, rising sign, and or moon sign. You can find the restreams for all of those right here on YouTube and Twitch, and it's really easy to find those most recent readings on my website at ariels-corner.com/zodiac. Ariel's Corner with a hyphen.com/zodiac. I don't read with card reversals. I gave that up several years ago. More than several. Probably about 10 or 20 years ago, I'm thinking. So if you see me flipping cards right side up, it's okay. It's just my style of reading. All is well, I promise. I know it's not something that most people do, and that's just how it is. If you like these readings and you want to make sure when we're online, you want to make sure that if you're watching on YouTube that you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. And if you're on Twitch, make sure you follow our channel. You know, you can watch our videos on Twitch without any ads simply by subscribing to us there. We have a shop, and that's at arielscornershop.com. arielscornershop.com. We have all kinds of gorgeous merchandise listed there, including the tarot decks that I read with, at least the ones that are still in print. And those are all affiliate links, so that means that we make a small commission off of each and every sale. We do appreciate your support, but mostly we just appreciate you being here for this general reading for all signs for today, the 2nd of April, 2023. And to that end, let us give this deck a nice clean cut. And then just take a look and see what's in the cards for everybody today. We start out with a 3 of Swords in the past. And then comes a Knight of Swords. And then we are going to the 10 of Swords. Okay, it's a swordy day. It's not a pretty sight. Now there's a way for us to deal with this in a very wonderful way, and that's going to be shown in a moment when I open the reading, because the cards never leave us without a way to deal with it. But I just want to talk about what it is first. First of all, some of you are going through some grief. Some of you are dealing with loss or unresolved loss. Some of you maybe not, have lost relationships, lost loved ones, lost pets. Some of that happened recently. Some of that happened a long time ago and you never dealt with it. So there's that unresolved grieving that is going on here. And the problem with unresolved grieving is that a lot of people think, well, don't be negative, let's focus on the positive. And I understand where you're coming from, but remember that whatever you just stuff away in your deep mind is there churning out experiences and results. And so when you don't resolve something, when you don't integrate certain things, you don't come to terms with certain things, and you just stuff them away in your deep mind, it's like planting a seed in the earth. And then you wonder, why is all this weird stuff happening? It's because you've got unresolved trauma. That's why all this weird stuff is happening. And it's saying that part of the way that manifests is we attract people into our lives, or we are attracted to people, is sometimes more appropriate, that aren't for our highest good. That want to help us into all kinds of bad ideas and bad actions and bad results. And so just watch the company you keep. Watch the kind of people you're attracted to. I know for myself, there was a lot of unresolved trauma for years that made me always think that certain kinds of bad people were sort of sexy. you know? And the reason why I thought that those people were sort of sexy was not because they were truly sexy, because looking back, it's like, okay, that was anything but sexy. It was because that seed in my deep mind was trying to bear fruit and say, oh, you should latch onto that person. They're bad for you. You should latch onto that person. They're going to get you in trouble, right? And then we get what we get. So let's open this reading up and take a look. Now, by the way, when you get 10s like this, 10s are always outcomes. So this is a bad outcome. This is a very negative outcome, which can be avoided, by the way. And we're going to talk about how to avoid that. We're going to steer the ship to a different destination today. But even if you don't steer the ship to a different destination and something bad happens, let it be a one-time deal. Don't start turning it into, oh, now what? Don't start turning it into, oh, of course this happened. This always happens to me. Because then what you're doing is you're perpetuating it and turning it into a trend. So if something bad does happen to you, let it be the ending, not the beginning of the next thing. All right. Here's the Six of Swords. So this is definitely the way out. Then we've got the Two of Wands, which is why we are so prone to some of these things. And then this beautiful Ace of Cups, which is going to heal the whole thing. All right, so we have choices to make. We have choices to make today, and it's very important that we make the right ones if we don't want to have more trauma, if we don't want to just perpetuate the trauma. Part of what's going on with this unresolved trauma is we think that we have to go relive it, and so we don't want to. But that's not how you resolve trauma. You don't resolve trauma, by reliving it and going through it. Just like you don't take out the garbage by going through it. But you do have to take out the garbage. If you just pretend like the garbage isn't there, it starts smelling bad, right? And no matter how much room spray you use, it's just disgusting. And that's what unresolved trauma is. It's garbage that we haven't taken out. Because we are under the false assumption that to resolve trauma, we have to go through the garbage. You don't. So let's take out the garbage today. And how do we do that? Through the solar light. We do that through the solar light. You ask that solar light to go into your past and relieve you and release you from everything that is not to your highest good. And it's really that simple. You just allow that higher power to do for you what you cannot do for yourself. And you can't resolve this on your own. And you're not supposed to resolve this on your own. Just like you're not supposed to know how to heal a cut on your finger. Nature takes care of that for you. You know, you can bandage it, and that's what you can bandage it just to allow nature the space to do that so that it doesn't get infected. But even if it got infected, nature knows how to handle that. So the solar light, in a similar way, but even more accurately than sometimes what happens with the cut of a finger, can resolve and heal that ancient trauma within you. But you have to understand that is there. You can't just pretend like it's not there. You have to turn and face it, call on that solar light and say, help me release this. And then it's just like taking the garbage out. It's just that simple. And it's done. It's just done. And notice how when you take that garbage out, how after just a few moments, the house starts smelling pretty because the source of the disgust is gone, of the disgusting stuff is gone, right? Now, this is our attraction to people and things and stuff in this life that we think is so sexy and yummy, and we just like, ooh, I want more of that, I want more of that. When actually what that is like I said, the fruits of our negative unresolved traumas trying to bear fruit and trying to hook us, right? And part of how that stays available to us and stays so attractive to us comes from this idea that we're not enough. That somehow we're not enough, that we have to go look outside of ourselves. And if it's exciting, it's good, because we're kind of, not enough. And so we go out and look for some exciting things, which end up not being so good for us. Right? So it's not so much that we have to determine what's good for us and not good for us. That's not really what we're talking about. What we have to do is look and realize that we weren't born with a missing piece. You weren't born with a missing piece. You weren't born missing something with some big gap in your soul. You were born with everything you need to have joy and success and prosperity and health and all of the good that this life has to offer you. You were born with all of it. And it's this idea that maybe you, I know I did, adopted, that there was something wrong with you, that there's something missing in you, that why can't you just be better? Why can't you just be better? Why are you so deficient? Why are you missing those chromosomes? What's going on with you? What's wrong with you? Those kinds of ideas. And then we don't want to think about that. We don't want to notice that either. And so we get all busy with these activities and with these people that aren't for our highest good. And we get attracted to stuff because that, at least it's something that can divert us from looking at the fact that we don't think that we are enough, that we're missing something, that we're deficient in some way. Well, the solar light knows the truth about you better than you do. And the solar light says, well, just FYI, you're not missing a thing. You're perfect just the way you are. All of these ideas that you have here are wrong, and let's resolve the trauma. Let's resolve this age-old trauma that hasn't been resolved. Let's resolve that. Let's take that away and re-educate you into understanding that you're perfect just the way you are. God didn't make junk with you. You're not less important than anybody, and you're not less exciting than anybody. You're not less wonderful than anybody. You really aren't. It's not, and that's not just to make you feel better. It's just to let you in on the truth that you're really important to the universe. That you're actually more than important. You're essential. Your role here is essential, right? So once you start understanding that, or even catching a glimpse of that, you're not so interested in the things that are going to pull you away from your essential function here on this earth. And that essential function here on this earth is bringing you all prosperity, all love, all joy, all happiness. Look at this this Ace of Cups. What is this? This Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups is this huge, giant vessel of spiritual truth that has within it all the blessings that are yours. And it's always constantly being filled with those blessings. So whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you require, if they're true desires of your heart, those are coming from infinite intelligence, and they are there to be fulfilled. And anything that's not coming from infinite intelligence, when you start to accept who you are as a soul and start receiving all of these blessings, those other so-called desires, those momentary lusts that are simply just distractions, they just fall away, and you're not interested in them anymore. They just fall away of their own accord. So whatever toboggan ride to hell that you're on right now, you don't have to be on that. You don't have to go there. This is actually a choice. This is an option. So you can choose. Do I want to go to where everything is painful and I've got all of the outcomes of these I don't even want to say negative, these erroneous ideas about myself, that I'm missing something, and that all of these traumas in my past that need to be in my mind recreated over and over and over again? Is that where I want to go? Or do I want to go to the truth? Because the truth is that none of that is for me. That's not the will of the universe. I want the universal will for me. The universe's will for me is to be happy, joyous, prosperous, free, right? And the way that I get there is asking a higher power to define me for myself, because I'm not capable of doing that right now. Okay, so I'm talking as you. This is you talking. So don't turn to yourself to try to fix it for yourself, because you already think that you're deficient. You haven't accepted the truth about yourself yet. So turn to the place where the truth exists. Use my solar light meditation. That solar light meditation over and over and over again is going to be a wonderful way for you to receive the truth about yourself and to allow everything to be reorganized so that you don't have to go to these places. Aren't you sick of this? Aren't you done with these bad things all over and over and over again? This nonstop horror film? Aren't you bored with that? Let's go to the truth. Let's go where you belong. And you belong in prosperity. You belong in joy. You belong in safety. You belong in all of the places that the universe has ready for you. But it's up to you to accept them. So let's start today. And you can do this. Today's going to actually be a really good day for you, but that's going to have to come from your choice. but you don't necessarily know how to get there. So ask for that higher power to guide you and lead you there, and that's where you're going to be. All right, today's a very powerful day, so let's make our choices appropriately. Thank you so much for being here. I'm off tomorrow. I'll see you on Tuesday for another general reading. Thank you so much to the amazing moderators, Rachel, Brandy, and Dre. We will see everybody on Tuesday. Blessed be.